Hello, everybody, and welcome back. And we are at Talladega this afternoon or this evening for the running of the Talladega 250, race number 13 in the Yrl, round three. 8 drivers still eligible for this championship. Well, let's meet them. You got the 4 car of Zoom, the 55 of Trouble, 68 of Candy, 76 of Chris Delaware, the 33 of Sean D, 25 of Steve R, 64 of Philip Reynolds, and the 23 of Glenn B. And these drivers will be qualified into the top 19. We'll find out where they're going to be. They'll be the only TV drivers in this race. Zoom won the last race, guaranteeing herself a spot here in the round of 8. And after this, we'll go to the championship race at Miami. So 4 drivers will be eliminated. The bottom 4 playoff drivers will not be going to Miami. We'll shuffle these cards up here and see where these 8 drivers will start this Talladega 250 from. Alrighty. Shuffle the drivers up one more time and put them in the hat. We'll find out where these playoff drivers are starting. See what 4 will be in the bottom 4 qualifying wise. They'll be on the bubble to leave. First up, starting 14th, will be Steve R. And the 25 car. Starting 6th will be Glenn B in the 23. Good starting position. Starting 17th. Definitely one of the 4 cars that will be starting this race out of the bottom 4. Be 55 of Trouble. She'll have some work to do to get back up front there. Put herself back in the running to be in the championship 4. Starting 2nd, definitely won't be. Definitely great starting position for Candy in that 68. That's half of the 8. What's the other 4 going to go? 10th is Zoom, last race winner in the 4 car, starting in the top 10. And on the pole will be Philip Reynolds. Can't get no better than that. Philip Reynolds starting on the pole for this Talladega race. That means there's 1 driver left. And starting 9th will be Sean D. Oh, there should be 1 more, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1 more after Sean D. Sean D will be starting 39th in the 33. Oh, cool. It's a good race. Hope you enjoy it, Tim. All righty. And now the last playoff driver starting 8th. That means Sean D, Zoom, Steve R, and Trouble will be the 4 drivers when we start this race. Not making it. They'll have to move up. And Chris Delaware in that 76 car will start 8th. So right now, your 4 cars when we start this race moving on will be Philip Reynolds, Candy, Glenn B, and Chris Delaware. We'll reshuffle the cards here and find out where everybody else that ain't in the playoffs is going to start this race. righty, now we'll shuffle the drivers up. We'll get our starting grid here for race number 13, next to last race of the year. Round 3, round of 8. The bottom 4 will be eliminated. The top 4 will be racing for the championship. Okay, Tim, sounds good. All right, we forgot one driver. Reshuffle here. All righty, we'll put them in a hat. Shuffle them a little bit in the hat. Let's get on with this starting lineup. Starting 32nd will be Elvis in the 0-0 car. Starting 7th will be Demos in the 17. Starting 30th will be Matt in the 59. Starting 23rd will be Paul Gavier in the 55. Starting 29th be Roger Ward in the 24. Starting 26th will be Fan-O-Matic in the 19. Starting 19th will be in the 9 car, will be Fast Eddie. Starting 11th will be Darla in the 14. Starting 12th will be Keith White in the 17. Starting 21st will be Frank in the 0-0. Starting 15th be Parks in the 88. Starting 24th will be Keith Avalon in the 1. Starting 25th be P-Jet in the 44. Starting 5th be our reigning champ G-Puck in the 22. Starting 4th will MP Fox in the 12. Starting 36th. Be hammer time in the 34. Yeah, exactly, Tim. Sure is. Yep. That's a fast road course too. Starting 16th. Be Sarah Reynolds in the 97. Starting 27th. Be Danny and Gray in the 42. Starting 42nd. Will be Michael P. in the 73. Starting 31st. Bob B. in the 69. Starting 28th. Will be Bobby in the 20. Starting 43rd, shotgun and last, will be H. Hess in the 88. Starting 18th, be Michael B. in the 1. Starting 3rd, take care of the top group, will be Dez in the 96. Starting 37th, will be Carter in the 55. Starting 35th, be Glenn P. in the 4. Yes, you are, Philip. You're on the pole. Nah, I don't think it works that way. Good idea, though. Starting 38th is D. Scott Howard in the 13. Starting 39th, be Ken in the 92. Starting 34th will be Jim Cutter in the 68. Starting 22nd will be Tim in the 26. 41st will be Gorman, JB, in the 79. Yeah, or false hope, one or the other, Philip. And starting lucky number 13 will be yours truly. We'll see if Dwayne Mart's lucky number 13 pays off. I've had 3 bad races in a row. Starting 40th be Alan Shaw in 11. Starting 20th will be Devin OG in the 28. And starting 33rd be Double D in the deuce. Alrighty. Let's go over to starting grid here for the race here at Talladega. The Talladega 250 won the pole, just like Philip said, and the 64 is Philip Reynolds. Another playoff driver on the outside pole, Candy in the 68, starting third. The 96 of Dez starting fourth. NP Fox in the 12, starting fifth. G Puck, a reigning champ in the 22. Another playoff driver in the top group is Glenn B in the 23, starting sixth. Demos 17, starting seventh. Another playoff driver starting eighth, Chris Delaware in the 76. Another playoff driver, Sean D in the 33, starting ninth. And rounding out the top 10 is another playoff driver, Zoom in the 4. Darla is going to be starting 11th in the 14. Starting 12th is Wade in the 17. Starting 13th is Martz in the 21. Another playoff driver right now. The race would end. Steve R. The 25 would be out. So would Zoom and Sean, and so would Trouble. Starting 15th, Parks in the 88. Starting 16th, Sarah Reynolds in the 97. Like I said, starting 17th, Trouble in the 55 would be out of the playoffs the way it stands now. Starting 18th, the one of Michael B. Starting 19th, Fast Eddie in the 9. Starting 20th, Devin OG in the 28. Starting 21st, Frank in the 00. Starting 22nd is going to be Tim in the 26. Starting 23rd is Paul in the 55. Starting 24th, Keith in the 1. Starting 25th is P-Jet in the 44. Starting 26 is Phantomatic in the 19. Starting 27th is Danny and Gray in the 42. Starting 28th is Bobby in the 20. Starting 29th is Ward in the 24. Starting 30th is Matt in the 59. Starting 31st is Bob B in the 69. Starting 32nd is Elvis in the 00. Starting 33rd is Double D in the deuce. Starting 34th is Jim Cutter in the 68. Starting 35th is Glenn P in the 4. Starting 36 is Hammer Time in the 34. Starting 37th is Carter in the 55. Starting 38th is D. Scott Howard in the 13. Starting 39th is Ken in the 92. Starting 40th is Alan Shaw in the 11. Starting 41st is J.B. Gorman in the 79. Starting 42nd, Michael P. in the 73. And in the rear with the gear shotgun to the field is going to be H. Hess and that 88 car. Let's get this race started with Philip Reynolds taking us to the green flag here at Talladega. And here we go, turn one. We got a top group of heat coming after Philip right away. He's got the heat. MP Fox has got the heat. It'll take 3, 4, 5, or 6 to get Philip. And 4, 6 ain't getting it done. Here comes Dez with heat, the last driver in the top group with heat. And triples. Dez has got a problem. Starting off here at Talladega with a problem. A 66, he blows up. Kaboom goes that 96 car. And he is out of the race. blows an engine. Sure. So Dez will finish 43rd. So Philip Reynolds holds on turn number 1. And let's see who's going to move up here to the top and middle group. First one with a chance to move up is Chris, and that's 76. No. How about Sean D? No. How about Zoom? Zoom's moving on up. Goes from 10th up to 7th. Gets that playoff car up in the top 4 now. And that knocks Chris out right now. So right now, Trouble, Steve R, Sean D, and Chris are out of the playoffs. Can OG move up? Yes, he can. Gives us 42 cars running here after turn 1. 25 turn race, 250 here at Talladega. Okay, here we go, turn number 2. Here we go. We got our first pedal to the metal here. And it's going to be the 10 car. Darlis going to start this train. Can Keith White join her? No, it's just a one-girl train going after Sean D. She gets him. Going after Chris. She gets him. Going after Zoom. Gets her. Going after Demos. Demos puts a halt to that. But Darla picks up 3 spots and gets into the top group. Knocks the playoff driver of Zoom out of the top group. Alrighty, here we go. Turn number 3. And we got a bottom group of Control. Let's see who's going to be moving up back here. Who's getting out of the rear with the gear. First one up's Michael P in 41st. 3-4-6. And knocks Sarah Reynolds back as Michael P goes from 41st up to 15th. Here comes JB in that 79. Not with a 5, he's not. And we got Alan Shaw, an 11, trying to get out of the rear with the gear, not with a 5. How about Ken? Ken with a 3-4-3. And he gets Michael P. Doesn't stay there long. Ken goes from 38th up to 15th. Here comes D. Scott with a 2-2-1. And Sean D holds him off with Control. Good job by Sean staying up there, even though right now he's still out of the playoffs. Troy Carter with Control. Not with a 6, he's not going nowhere. How about Glenn P? Not 4 car. A 3-6-6. He gets Devin OG, goes from 34th up to 19th. Here comes Jim Cutter, trying to make a move. Not with a 4, he's not. Elvis. Can Elvis lead this bottom group? Not with a 5, he can't. How about Bob B? A 69 car staying put. Here comes Bobby in that 20 car. Not going nowhere. Fan-O-Matic. He's been running good lately with a 3-4-1. And Ken holds him off with that Control. Here comes Keith with a 1-5-4. And he gets Michael B and goes from 23rd up to 17th. How about Paul? Can Paul get out of the rear with the gear? Not with a 4, he can't. And that was the last car with Control. Yeah, something went through that car. It ignited quick. That's for sure. Running that car awful lean, huh? Okay, we go to turn number 4. And we got another pedal to the metal. Turn 4. And it'll be the 24th place car starting this. Here's P-Jet trying to move on up. And Fanomatic will join him. How about Danny and Gray? Yes. How about Bobby? Yes. How about Roger Ward? Yes. How about Matt? Yes. How about Bobby? Yes. Elvis going to join the gang? Yes. How about Double D? No, it stops there. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 car train going after Michael B. And Michael B holds them off, makes that car wide as it can be. How about that? So we go to turn number 5. And we got a middle group of skill and a problem. First up, we'll do the skill. Keith Avalon trying to get out of this middle group. Not going nowhere with a 4. Ken Castro's got some skill. Not with a 4, he's not. How about Parks? He's got enough skill to get out of here. No, not with triple 4s, he's not. He's got a problem. What kind of problems Parks have? He blows up. Kaboom. These engines are blowing. These guys are giving it all they got near the end of the year. Might as well use them all up, they're figuring. He blows up and will finish 42nd. Steve R's got some skill. Can he get out of here? 1, 3, 4. He sure does. Gets G-Puck. Goes from 13th up to 4th. How about Dwayne Martz? I blew up the last race. Can I get up front? A 2, 3, 5. Steve R doesn't stay there long. Dwayne Martz goes up to 4th. And Chris got some skill trying to get up in that top group. Not with a 2, 1, 2 probably. No, Candy Candy doesn't have the skill. Goes from 9th up to 2nd. Gets back up there. How about that? Knocks Candy out of the playoffs right now. Here comes Zoom. Not with a 5. See who moves up here. And we still got the problem to look at. See if Frank can join this middle group. He does. Now we'll see who has the problem in the middle group. Okay. And 25. What car has the problem back here? Too odd. Keith White has the problem. What kind of problems Keith have? 26. We've had a lot of engines blow up. He's got an electrical problem. And -1 for repair. We're still in the first third of this race, so it'll take a 6 for Keith to get that car back out there. And no, he doesn't. Keith White and that 17 car will finish 41st. Alrighty, let's see who moves up to the middle group. First up will be Tim in that 26 car. And he's moving on up. 40 cars still running here. 3 of them is left. None of them playoff drivers, though. Right now, the 4 playoff drivers to be eliminated would be Trouble, Steve R, Sean D, and Candy. Running 9th, 8th, 10th, 11th, and 14th. Got to be in the top 7 in order to make this race. It looks make this top 8 anyway. Alrighty. We go to turn number 6. And we got a middle group of 2 problems in the middle group. We rolled doubles plus a regular problem. So who has the first problem? 54. That'll be the 5 even. Glenn P has a problem. What kind of problems he got? A 34. Tight. He'll drop back to 20th. Now who has the second problem? 42. And 42 is the 4 even. Trouble. A playoff driver has a problem. It's trouble for trouble. A 22. Brake problem. Roll for repair. So again, it'll take a 6 for her to stay in the race. Otherwise, if she doesn't, she is definitely out of the playoffs. And she does stay in the race. She'll drop back to 40th. At least she still has a shot moving up. We'll see who moves up here. Paul Govier, does he move up? He sure does. How about Michael B? Does he move up? No. How about P-Jet? P-Jet moves up. So like I say, we got trouble back there in 40th now. As we go to turn number 6. And we got a middle group of trouble in the middle group. Uh-oh, here we go. It could be the big one. We got 4 cars in the middle group. That's playoff drivers all in a row here. Takes a 8 for Zoom to escape this mess. She does. Candy, it'll take a 7 for Candy to escape. Candy makes it through. Sean D needs a 7. He doesn't. Sean D's involved in a wreck. How about Steve R? He needs a 6. Doesn't get it. 2 playoff drivers have wrecked. G-Puck needs a 5. He doesn't get it. G-Puck's involved in this mess too. Next up will be Ken. He needs an 8. He doesn't make it through with box cars. We're going to have the big one, it looks like. How about Keith Avalon? He needs a 6. He doesn't get it with double 5s. Fast Eddie needs an 8. And he doesn't make it. We're going to the bottom group. We got the big one. Next up is Frank needs a 6. He makes it through. How about Tim needing a 7? He doesn't make it through with double 4s. How about Paul needing a 7? He barely makes it through with a 7. P-Jet needs a 7. He doesn't make it with double 4s. We go to the back. Here comes Glenn Peak, and he escaped. With a 4, he makes it through. How about Michael B? We need a 6. No, he's involved in this melee. Danny and Gray needs an 8. And he gets it. Nice driving. I'm sorry, Phantomatic. Now it's Danny and Gray. Danny and Gray needs a 6. Doesn't get it. Bobby needs a 6. No, they're wrecking, man. Wrecking like crazy. How's it going, Hunter? And Roger needs a 6. And he barely gets it. Roger Ward makes it through. Matt needs a 10. And he gets box cars. Man, this wreck is taking them all out. Bob B needs a 7. He doesn't. He barely gets it with a 7. How about Elvis needing an 8? Elvis makes it through. He escapes. Double D needs an 8. He makes it through. How about Jim Cutter needing an 8? He barely makes it with double 4s. Devin OG needs a 5. That ain't happening. He's involved. 28 car. Hammer Time needs a 7. Doesn't get it with box cars. Troy Carter needs an 8. And he makes it through. D. Scott needs a 10. And he barely gets it. Double 5s. D. Scott barely makes it through. Michael P. needs a 5. Makes it through. Alan Shaw needs an 8. He makes it through. These guys are far enough back that they slowed him up. Gorman needs a 5. Jinxed him. He's involved in it. Sarah Reynolds needs an 8. Barely makes it through with the 7. H. Hess needs a 6. Gets through with 4s. And last car's Trouble needs 12, so she can't get mixed up in this. So she will move up. How many cars was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 2 playoff drivers. All righty. We are in the beginning of the race. It'll take a 8 for him to stay in the race. See if Gorman can fix his car. Barely gets her fixed. How about Hammer Time? He barely gets his car fixed too. Devin OG gets her fixed. Matt in the 59. He gets her fixed. How about Bobby in the 20? Yes, he gets it fixed. Yeah, exactly, Tim. Yep. Danny and Gray with a 7 gets her done. So far, everybody's been able to repair the cars. Michael B, can he get that one car out? Yes, he does. Here comes P-Jet and their crew in the 44. They get her fixed. Say, everybody's been able to repair them so far. Tim in that 26 is the first car not to get her fixed. So the 26 car will finish 40th. How about Fast Eddie in the 9 car? No. He doesn't get his car fixed. He'll finish 39th. Here's Keith in the 1. And he doesn't get that car fixed. These cars must have been the beginning of it. Really got nailed. The whole field must have hit them. How about Ken? Ken gets his car back out there. How about G-Puck? Yeah, G-Puck's back. All right, here comes the 2 playoff drivers. Steve R. He's back in the race. And how about Sean D? Sean D is out of this race. Sean D will be eliminated from the playoffs. Sean D cannot get that car fixed. 33 car is out of the race. That means right now Steve R, Trouble, and Candy will be joining him. 36 cars still running. That takes us past the pit stop. Here on turn 9, our first pit stop of the race. We got a bottom group 1 and 3 switch spots. And that just put Candy out of this still. And 1 and 3 back here. Okay, let's grab some chips and see if anybody in this back group can get some chips. First up is Alan Shaw. He needs a 4. No. How about Michael P? He needs a 7. He gets her done with a 6. Okay, D. Scott needs a Snake Eyes. Doesn't get it with a 1-2. Sarah needs a 4. Gets it with a 3. How about H. Hess? He needs a 6. Doesn't get it. How about Miss Trouble? She can't get 1. And Steve R needs a 6. Doesn't get it with a 7. G-Puck needs an 8. He gets her done. Ken needs a 4. Doesn't get it. P-Jet needs a 6. He gets a chip. Michael B needs a 6. Gets it done with double 3s. How about Danny and Gray? No. Bobby with a 6. Gets it done. Matt needs Snake Eyes. Doesn't get it with a 1-3. OG needs a 7. Doesn't get it. Hammer Time needs a 5. Doesn't get it. And last but not least is Gorman, and he doesn't get it either. Had a few back here. Well, we got 6 cars got chips. None of the playoff drivers back here got a chip. Oh, they could have used that. The crew's let them down so far. Did get them back out on the racetrack, though, and beat up. Maybe they took their time fixing that car up so it'll run better for them. Alrighty, can anybody beat Philip Reynolds out of the pits here? He's led every lap so far. Not anymore. Yours truly, Dwayne March, takes the lead here at Talladega on turn number 9. Here we go to turn number 10. 100 miles here in the books at Talladega. And we got a bottom group of smart and a problem. First, we'll do the smart. JB Smart. A 163. He gets Carter. Goes from 36 up to 19th. Knocks Troy back. Hammer Time Smart. A 125. And he gets Paul Gavier, goes from 35th up to 11th. How about Devin OG? A 345. Gets Bob B. A lot of movement. And these cars back here must have did a good job with pit stops. Got these cars running. How about Matt in that 59? A 333. Matt's got a problem. What kind of problems Matt have? A 16. That's not good. Cut tire. Roll for repair. We're now in the middle. So it takes a 4 for Matt to stay in the race. And that's not happening. That 59 car will finish 36. Danny and Gray, he's got the smart quality. A 314. He gets Fan-O-Matic. Goes from 32nd up to 9th. Say these cars are flying back here in the back. Hess is smart, and neither one of the playoff drivers are smart. A 124. And he gets Hammer Time. Goes from 28th up to 11th. Alan Shaw smart. Not with a 5 though. And Sarah smart with a chip. It's going to need the chip. Takes over 16th. Burns that chip out. Goes from 21st up to 16th. And Michael P. smart with the chip. A 211. And Danny and Gray says he's going to have to use this chip, but he knocks Danny and Gray back to 20th. Michael P. up to 9th. And now we'll find out who in the back group had a problem. Be a 46 car in the back. The 12th place driver back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just barely missed the playoff drivers. It's Ken Castro with a 62. He's got a clutch problem. And like I said, we're in the middle part of this race, so it'll take a 4 to get him fixed. And he gets her done. So and he drops 4 spots. He's back to 35th. So we go to turn number 11. Whoa. We got a top group of trouble and a problem. First, we'll do the trouble. I need a 9 to stay in this, and I get it. Philip Reynolds, we got some playoff drivers up here. Philip needs a 7. He barely gets it. MP Fox needs a 7. He doesn't get it. MP Fox is involved in this race. Chris needs an 8. He gets it with Snake Eyes. Glenn B needs a 7. He gets it with a 6. Demos needs a 5. He doesn't. He's involved in a wreck. And if Darla makes it through, we won't be going to the middle group. She needs an 8. And she gets it, so we won't be going to the middle group. Just 2 cars involved in this wreck. None of them are playoff drivers. Everybody else just moves up. We'll see if they can get their cars fixed, and then we'll do the problem in the top group. So those playoff drivers ain't out of the woods yet on this turn. Alrighty, we're in the middle, so it'll take a 6 to get these cars back on the track. Demos is up first. And no, the 17 of Demos will finish 35th. How about MP Fox? Can he get that 12 car fixed? Yes, he does. Alrighty, now let's see who in the top group has the problem. And it is Glenn P, who misses the playoff drivers. What kind of problems does Glenn have? 35. He's tight. He'll drop to the 34th, but at least he stays in the race. Let's see who moves up. Can Frank move up? No. How about Hess? Yes, Hess moves up. See who moves up to the middle group. Got some guys back here with chips. First up is the reigning champ, G-Puck. No. How about P-Jet? P-Jet moves up in that 44 car. Up to 19th. Still got 34 cars running here at Talladega. Right now, the top 4 in points is Philip Reynolds, Chris Delaware, Glenn B, and Zoom. The bottom 4 is Candy, Trouble, Steve R, and Sean D's already out of the race. So we go to turn number 12 here. We got another top group of star this time. How many stars we got up here? And he takes a 3 to beat me. HS is a star. And a 3-4, he gets the job done. Goes from 7th up to the lead. Knocks me back here on turn number 12. Alrighty. Chris is the only driver left that's a star, and he's going for the lead here. Talladega 2-5, and he gets it done. Chris puts that car up front. He thinks the safest place to be at Talladega is in the front. I don't blame him. Okay, we go to turn number 13. It's going to be a lucky number 13 for somebody. We got a pedal to the metal. And 23rd starting position, Alan Shaw. Let's see if D. Scott's going to join him. Yes, he will. How about Hammer Time? No, it's a 2-man gang going after Bobby. They get her. How about Michael B? They get him. Going after G-Puck. They get him. Going after P-Jet. P-Jet puts the block on that. They pick up 3 spots, though. Alan Shaw up to 20th. D. Scott up to 21st. Halfway through this race here at Talladega, on to turn number 14. And we got a bottom group of heat. Who's got the heat? Glenn P's got some heat. Not enough though, not with a 4. MP Fox has got some heat. Not with a 5. Troy Carter says he's going to bring some heat. And he does, but it's triples. Might have blown up type heat. He's got a 42. He's got brake problems here. I don't understand how you got brake problems at Talladega. You ain't supposed to be using them. See if he can get this car fixed. Again, it takes a 4 for him to fix it. No, Troy Carter in that 55 car will finish 34th. Steve R's got some heat trying to get out of this bottom group. Playoff driver trying to make a move. A 3, 2, 1. And he does. Gets up to 11th. Still not in the playoffs. He'll be knocked out. Here comes trouble. What can she do here? Now 6 ain't going nowhere. And the only car now with heat, Alan Shaw, all these drivers with chip don't have heat. And a 1-5-2. And he gets it. Gets Danny and Gray. Goes from 20th up to 17th. Turn 15. And we got a middle group of trouble in the middle group. Here we go again. 3 drivers back here. This could help trouble out if it doesn't get the whole way back to the bottom group. First up's Frank. Needs a 6 to stay in here. He gets it. Zoom needs an 8. Doesn't get it. We got a playoff driver wrecking. How about Candy needs a 7? No, Candy's wrecking too. These playoff drivers are beating and banging on each other. How about Steve R needs a 6? No, all 3 of these playoff drivers are involved in this wreck. If it doesn't get back to the back group, trouble's like in this. Devin OG needs a 5. Doesn't get it. How about Sarah needs an 8? She makes it through. Double D needs an 8. Barely makes it through. Jim Cutter needs an 8. Barely makes it through. Gorman needs a 5. Doesn't make it through. JB's involved in the wreck. Alan Shaw needs an 8. And he gets it done. Elvis needs an 8. Elvis with double 4s makes it through. So with P-Jet having a chip, we will not be going to the bottom group. P-Jet gets a 4, so he won't even need to use his chip. So everybody will just move up. That's 5 cars was involved in this melee. 3 of them are playoff drivers, though. So right now that puts Chris, Philip Reynolds, Glenn B into the next round, the championship round. Let's see if these playoff drivers can fix the car and at least have another shot at it. Trouble was sitting back there thinking her day was over. So they need a 6 to repair it. First up is JB. He's still in the race. How about Devin OG? Devin OG's out of the race, the 28 car. He'll finish 33rd. Here comes the playoff drivers. Like I say, they need a 6 to stay in this race. And Steve R will not be going on to the championship round. Steve R is out of this race. He'll join Sean D. How about Candy? Can she get that car back out there? No, the 68 of Candy is out of this race at Talladega. 3. And how about Zoom? Won last week. And Zoom's still in the race. But she's the first car out right now. So right now, Chris, Delaware, Philip Reynolds, Glenn B, and Trouble are going on to the championship. And that takes us past the pit stop, our final pit stop here on turn 18, the money stop. Let's see what happens. We got a top group 1 and 5 switch. Alrighty, let's redo this middle group since they can't get chips. Figure this with the drivers with chips. Alrighty, grab a handful of chips. See if Chris here in the lead can get 1 and 5 back here. Switch spots. BR's not trying to give out. Hammer Time ain't trying to give out up very good. Alrighty, here comes Chris. Needs a 5 to get a chip. And no. How about Michael B? Michael P needed a 7, doesn't get it. Test needs a 6. Not boxcar 6s. He just needed 1 6. Glenn B needs a 5. Not boxcars. Darla needs a 4. These crews aren't doing a very good job. Philip Reynolds needs a 5. His pit crew, look at that. The 64 comes out big. And yours truly needs a 3 and gets a 4. So the only pit crew to come through here with a chip is Philip Reynolds. Looking good here. There is 9 turns left, Philip. Oh, you left? Hey, John, how are you? Yep, the top 4 TV drivers are playoff drivers, correct. Right now it is Chris, Philip, Glenn, and Trouble. Zoom will be the one out of the race. Let's see if anybody can beat Chris out of the pits here on turn 18. 3-2. So HS gets the lead here on turn 18. Alrighty, turn 19, getting close to the end. And we got a middle group of TV. There is no playoff drivers in the middle group. On the turn 20, we got a bottom group of problem in the bottom group. Who's going to have the problem? Might not be anybody. 33. Who's that? That's the 8th place car in the bottom group. MP Fox has got the problem. On an 11, he's got an odd problem. A 65. Pit crew error to the end of the bottom group. Stays in the race, but he'll drop back to 30th. And we're on to turn 21. Only 5 turns left. 50 miles to go here at Talladega. We got a problem in the middle group. Who has the problem back there? And it'll be the one odd driver, P-Jet, with the problem. What kind of problems P-Jet have? 46. Smacks the wall. Let's see if he can get this car fixed. Take a 4 for P-Jet to stay in the race. No. 44 car hits the wall. No caution comes out, though. He'll finish 30th. Let's see who moves up here to the middle group. Bob B will have an opportunity to move up here. No. How about Trouble? No, Trouble can't take advantage of it. How about Roger Ward? No. How about Fanomatic? No, nobody wants to move up. Hammer Time. He says, I'll take it. Hammer Time goes from 24th up to 19th. Trouble just lost a big chance there. Maybe she's being cautious since she's still in the playoffs right now where it stands. Here we go, turn number 22. And we got a bottom group of Star in the bottom group. First up is Zoom. Can she get out of the rear with the gear and give herself a shot here? Not with a 6, she can't. And Trouble's the only other Star. Both playoff drivers had the star quality. 2-4-3. And gets Alan Shaw, goes from 21st up to 14th. And that's it for turn 22. On the 23, 3 turns left here, folks. We got another pedal to the metal. And it is the 23rd place car. It'll be Fan-O-Matic starting this train. And Paul Govier says, I'll join this. I'll try to move up. How about Ken? Ken says, heck yeah. Glenn P. Yes. How about JB? Yes. How about Zoom needs to do this big time? No, Zoom cannot get it done. Car must be pretty well damaged. Going after Roger Ward. They get him. How about Alan Shaw? They get Alan. Going after Bob B. And Bob B puts a halt to it. So they pick up 2 spots. Go from 23rd up to 21st. Respectively, up to 25th, knocking Allen back to 26th and Roger back to 27th. 2 turns to go. 2 turns to go. Yes, exactly, John. Going to Homestead. I might get her done tonight. We'll have to see. Yep. Here we go. 2 turns to go here at Talladega. And we got a middle group of Star. Can Trouble get herself up there? Give herself a chance making this Star quality. And she's the first Star. Let's see what happens here. A 4. She's not going nowhere. How about Jim Cutter? Not with a 4. Double D's got Star. A 3-6-2. And he gets me. I drop back to 12th. Double D goes up to 7th. Michael B with the chip and the Star. 1-5-2 gets Darla without using the chip. He's looking good here in the last turn if it gets up there. And how about G-Puck, our reigning champ? Not going nowhere with the 6 unless he uses his chip. And he's going after Michael B, so we'll use his chip and make Michael burn his. All righty, folks. This is it. The white flag is out. Here we go. Can HS hold on to win his 2nd race of the year? It will be a top group of skill. Here they come. Hess doesn't have skill, so it'll take 3, 4, 5, or 6 to get him. Here comes Double D. 1-2. He holds him off. Michael B going after the lead with a 4-6. Can't get her done. Chris wants that lead back. He had it for a long while. This is the last car with the shot at HS. And a 3-4. Look at that. Chris Delaware will be going on to your championship 4 with a victory. Good job by Chris. And there is your winner, folks. Chris Delaware wins this Talladega race. We'll be in the finals in the championship 4 at Homestead. Philip Reynolds will be joining him, finishing 2nd. Philip stayed up front all day, stayed out of trouble. Literally stayed out of trouble. Michael P in that 73 car finishes 3rd. HS had the lead near the end there. Couldn't get her done. All righty. How about Glenn B making it to the finals and that 23 car finishing fifth? Good job by Glenn B. He's going to have a shot at the championship. Michael B finishing in the top 10 in that one car. Finishing seventh in the deuce is Double D. The reigning champ finishes in the top 10, one of his best finishes of the year. He's had a rough year as defending champ. Darla gets that 14 car up in the top 10, finishes ninth. The 20 car of Bobby rounds out the top 10. D. Scott Howard, lucky number 13, finishes 11th. Yours truly in the 21, Dwayne Martz, finishes 12th. My best finish in a long while. Best finish in the playoffs, I'll tell you that. I've had a rough playoffs. Jim Cutter in the 68 finishes 13th. And Trouble makes it into the final four in that 55 car. She'll be racing for the championship. Finishing 14th. Elvis in the 00 car finishes 15th. And Elvis has left the track, folks. Danny and Gray in the 42 finishes 16th. 00 of Frank, he finishes 17th. Sarah Reynolds in that 97, she finishes 18th. And Hammer Time in that 34 car finishes 19th. Bob B in the 69 finishes 20th. Yeah, exactly, John. And finishing 21st is Fan-O-Matic in the 19. Paul Gavier in the 55 finishes 22nd. Ken in the 92 finishes 23rd. Glenn P finishes 24th in the 4. JB in that 79, he finishes 25th. Alan Shaw in the 11 finishes 26th. Ward in the 24 finishes 27th. And Zoom, first car out of the playoffs, finishes 28th, unable to make it to the championship round. And NP Fox, last car still running. So congratulations to Chris, Philip Reynolds, Glenn B, and Trouble for making it into the championship round at Homestead, Miami. I want to thank John for stopping by, Tim, Philip Reynolds, Hunter. Y'all have a great evening here. If I'm not back on anymore this afternoon or evening, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for reminders. Oh, thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. Exactly. Yep. He sure does, John. I like that. And like I say, on your way out of Talladega, Alabama, hit that like button and leave a comment about the race. Till next time, you all take care. Have a good evening.